Pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Laremy Tunsil, tackle, Ole Miss. Well, Coach Freeze.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the WICR NFL Draft Show. Jersey, Joe Archino, Kevin Walsh, and Anthony Lazito here. And it took some time, but Laremy Tunsil is finally off the board, Kevin. A lot has been made of him tonight. Kind of not exactly the picture-perfect vision he had for his draft night going, but he's finally selected. And let me ask you, we'll go to kind of the problems that are with this pick a little bit later, but right off the bat, what kind of player did the Dolphins get?
I mean, they get the guy who was not only known as the best offensive tackle, the best player in this draft. Polished, clean, great technique, and they get themselves a franchised left tackle. Listen, when you look at how the team looks right now, how the roster looks, Ryan Tannehill is coming off a very down season, and they're going to want to be able to give him as much time as they possibly can in that pocket. And you also look at this team right now doesn't really have a starting running back. Jay Ajayi is that really where you want to go? They may be forced to either draft Derrick Henry or someone like that in the later rounds, or they may, revisit signing Arian Foster. Well, you get a guy who can make life for them so much easier. And that's why I absolutely love the selection. I think that Laremy Tunsil was a guy who should have been selected within the top 6, certainly within the top 10. So at 13, it's a steal. I actually do not anticipate that this video that surfaced really giving him any problems. And I guess we're going to talk on that a little bit more after the player profile.
Yes, we're going to go to the player profile, and then Anthony, we're giving you the tough questions right off the bat.
Laremy Tunsil, tackle, Ole Miss. Came into Ole Miss as a 5-star prospect and lived up to the hype. Has the elite foot quickness of a high-end NFL tackle, and his base remains balanced and uncompromised throughout his pass reps.
All right, Anthony, well, we talked about the merits of the player, but now we kind of get to the video that surfaced today. Apparently, his Twitter account is hacked. It might have been a video of him using drugs earlier in life, maybe much earlier. We really don't know, but should there be doubts or concerns about trust, about character with this guy? Because not just was it that video, but he also did have a domestic assault flare-up, which also popped up. So are there a lot of red flags here that would scare you off from picking a player like this?
There are red flags. I mean, you can't deny that, but it honestly depends on the team. To be honest, I think he still should have went top 6. He's too good. I mean, in that domestic case, it was a civil suit. It wasn't being a criminal. It was just about money, which he might not have anymore because all the millions he's about to lose.
Not as much as he anticipated.
But no, he could be one of the best left tackles in the game eventually, for all we know. And it's great for Tannehill because he's been sacked a lot the past few years. So he's a great pick. I mean, now they just need to get the running back to run behind him.
And I think, listen, I think we can all recall the last time the Dolphins went for a franchise offensive tackle. They were picking number 1 overall in 2008 when they took Jake Long, and he was great for them for a number of years. So you get a guy who now steps in and can be that guy for them. I mean, listen, Laremy Tunsil was a guy who was to me a guy who belonged going number 1 when the Tennessee Titans were picking. And I don't think that they ever anticipated him being there at 13. And a lot of times I looked at the Dolphins pick and I really thought to myself, if Ezekiel Elliott's not here, I don't know who makes sense for the Dolphins. I don't know how they walk away happy. They found a way, and that's by getting Laremy Tunsil, who can now be their franchise left tackle.
So, final word before we reset and get ready for the Raiders pick. No worries about the red flags. No worries about any of that stuff with Laremy Tunsil.
I mean, look, no, definitely it's a bit of a worry. That's why he's, fell to this point.
That's why he slept so much.
But to be honest, if I'm the Dolphins, I would have made this pick. So, I think that they made the right decision here. I'm going to be completely honest. If the red flags come, you know what, they come, and if this really all goes south, then that's going to be very unfortunate. But I think right now, I don't anticipate it going that way. So I really, really, really like this selection for him.
Well, there are risks in life, there are risks in sports, and we will see how this risk pays off for the Miami Dolphins. Jersey, Joe Archino, Kevin Walsh, and Anthony Lazito here. We're going to restock, we're going to reload, and we're going to get ready for the Raiders pick. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.